Hey. That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
He did what?
Jackpot, baby!
Ice up, son. Ice up. That is blasphemous. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Now, getting to the Pro Bowl. Yes, the Pro Bowl. The game that has had the lowest viewership, I believe, out of pretty much any major sporting event over the past, nationally televised sporting event over the past 10, 15 years, is the Pro Bowl. Nobody watches the Pro Bowl anymore. And I haven't watched the Pro Bowl since, I got to say, probably since I was about 10. I honestly cannot tell you the last time I watched the Pro Bowl. And that's saying something. And I know that I'm not the only one in that boat. There are plenty of people out there that honestly probably even forgot the Pro Bowl was a thing. There are people that probably have never watched the Pro Bowl. There are people out there that really just are not big fans of the Pro Bowl. And I don't blame them, because the Pro Bowl has been an absolute snore fest over the past 10 years or so. So how can you blame them? The Pro Bowl stinks. Something had to have been done with it, and I think a lot of people were in agreement with that the Pro Bowl, something had to be done, and something was finally done with that. And was it all that great? I don't think so, because honestly, here's what the NFL came up with. I'll just lay this all out for you here. The NFL came up with this. This is comical. Ready? The NFL has finally announced that they replaced the Pro Bowl. I can't. It is so bad that I can't even say it with a straight face. They have replaced it with a week-long competition. A week-long of skills competitions, finished off with a flag football game. Snore fest. I mean, come on. You take the Pro Bowl and you replace it with that? All they did was replace the Pro Bowl game with flag football, because you know what? The past 5 years, they had those skills competitions. They already had that. This is no different. And to say that, we replaced it with flag football, I mean, that's essentially what the Pro Bowl had been the past couple years. The Pro Bowl had pretty much been, I don't even want to say flag football. It was barely two-hand touch football in the past 5-10 years. And nobody watches the Pro Bowl. Nobody's going to watch this. Nobody wants to watch flag football. Nobody wants to watch NFL guys play flag football. I'm sorry. But nobody wants to watch that. Just like nobody wants to watch the Pro Bowl. And you might say, all right, Mike, well, what do you think they should have done? Since you seem to have all the answers, what do you think they should have done? And my solution to the whole issue may not be perfect. I understand that. But my solution would look a little bit like this. Have the regular Pro Bowl, but have it at some point in the regular season. Very similar to the MLB All-Star break, the NBA All-Star break, and even the NHL All-Star break. The NFL is the only major sport out of those four, including NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB, that have their All-Star game, Pro Bowl, whatever you want to call it. They have their special thing after the season is already over. And at that point, the problem with the Pro Bowl is they have it between the AFC and NFC championship games and the Super Bowl. So the only players playing in the Pro Bowl are players that are not going to the Super Bowl. And at that point in the season, their season is over for all intents and purposes, right? They have nothing left to play for, and there's nothing really for them to gain. So players sometimes don't play, they bail out, they don't even really try in the game. It has been barely been football. It has barely been football in the Pro Bowl the past 10 years or so. And it got so bad that I believe I forget exactly when this was, but I remember there was one Pro Bowl where it was so like slow paced and it was so bad that I think the commissioner or like I don't know, some higher up in the NFL, I don't know if it was Goodell or not, was basically saying like, hey, the next Pro Bowl you guys better actually try or else we're not going to have it anymore. We're going to get rid of it or you're going to be fined or something like that. That's how bad it got. And even the NBA is trying to find ways to improve their All-Star break. And their All-Star break is maybe not the best, but it's better than the NFL Pro Bowl by a mile. And I think you have to have the Pro Bowl at some point in the regular season, mid-season, whether that's, and I don't think necessarily week 8 because it's a little too early in the season, but I think you should have it at least week 12, week 14, somewhere around there. Or, even maybe have it between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the postseason. Something like that. Something along those lines. But you have to have it when there's still meaningful football to be played afterward for those guys. Because if you go to the Super Bowl, you're not playing in the Pro Bowl. That is, that's a rule. And if you have it in the regular season, those guys are going to be playing, maybe they won't be giving it their all, but they'll be playing somewhat, they will have some more effort than they are, in previous Pro Bowls. And even the NBA is talking about their, All-Star break, and they're saying, we have to make it mean something. We have to have, something to play for, something to win, something to go after. And there was the possibility of the All-Star break, the winner, the Eastern and Western conferences, the winners, the winner gets the, home advantage for the finals. And in the NFL, there is no like home field advantage. I guess you could argue maybe there has been in the past 2 Super Bowls with the Bucks playing at home 2 years ago, winning the Super Bowl there, and then the Rams playing at home in the Super Bowl last year and winning. But this year the Super Bowl is in Arizona, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to be making the Super Bowl this year. So, the Super Bowl for NFL is obviously at neutral sites. At least it's supposed to be. And no matter, it's a neutral site, but there's still a designated home and away team, and it flip-flops every year. This past year, the Rams were the designated away team, actually, I believe. And the year before that, the Buccaneers were the designated home team. So this year, the NFC will be the designated home team, and the AFC will be the designated away team. So maybe have it to where the Pro Bowl, if you win the Pro Bowl, you're the designated home team. And that doesn't really do too much. It's not on the same playing field as the NBA All-Star break thing where, if you win it, you get the home field advantage for the finals, because that is actually, possibly game-changing for the NBA finals and not so much for the Super Bowl. All right, so let's take it one step further. That's not good enough for you, which I agree that could definitely be worked on more. Winner of the Pro Bowl gets to call a coin toss in the Super Bowl. How about that? Instead of the away team just being able to always call the coin toss. Call heads or tails, I mean. How about that? The coin toss has been a very controversial thing in the NFL over the past few years. So how about that? But that's the thing. And even a somewhat successful NBA All-Star break, even they are trying to find ways to make it more meaningful. And you have to have some kind of advantage or meaning to the game, like an advantage in the balance. Like if you win, you get to do this. Or maybe, I mean, who knows, right? If you win the Pro Bowl, I don't know, that each player gets like a certain amount of bonus money. I don't know. There has to be something though. And the Pro Bowl, they've tried their fair share. They went away from the AFC, NFC. They tried, having team captains like Team Deion Sanders and Team Michael Irvin and Team Jerry Rice and all that stuff. We've seen the movie before. So they've tried everything, and now they are honestly not even really changing it all that much because they've had the skills competitions before. And I mean, those were during the week. Same thing as what this is going to be, and then at the end of it, they had the Pro Bowl, and instead of the Pro Bowl, they're going to have flag football. That's not too much better. And and you might ask, okay, what are they going to do? Every single, major sport has, a Pro Bowl, All-Star game, similar thing. Maybe the answer really is that it's just not viable for football. For baseball, and guys don't give it their all in football because, they're worried of injury or whatever, and they've got nothing to play for. In baseball, I mean, you could argue that the All-Star game, you don't have much to play for. And the All-Star break, you could argue the same thing for NBA. You don't have much to play for, but I don't know. I think there's a very negative culture around the Pro Bowl right now, and players don't want to be a part of that, and even the players think it's a bit of a joke, where in the other sports leagues, there's the culture around their Pro Bowl / All-Star game or whatever you want to call it is not so negative. It's a very positive thing to be a part of. And I mean, who knows? Maybe they need to mix things up for the Pro Bowl, right? Maybe you have, in the All-Star break, I think they've got something for NBA where each quarter is a certain score or whatever, and then the fourth quarter is like some target score thing, right? I mean, they've changed it around a little bit. They've been tinkering with it lately, so I forget the exact things on that, but I don't know. They need to do something because flag football is not the answer. I might not know what the answer is, but I know flag football is not it. I can be pretty confident in saying that. So I think they need to do it sometime in the middle of the season. And I understand you can say, oh, what if they get injured and everything and blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's a concern no matter what. Injury, right? Maybe you have... I don't know. There has to be something done. I don't know what it is, but flag football's not it. And there's a lot of open ground here, I'll say. Because, and it's tough to come up with something because, I don't know. All I'm saying is that if I was getting paid to come up with a solution to this, I would not be coming up with flag football. Flag football is not exactly what I would say as, oh, this is it. Hey, we had some issues and this is going to fix things. I'm not getting paid to come up with a solution, so that's why I don't really have a great solution. I don't have a, end game. This is better than anything else that anybody's ever said before. But again, I'll say this one more and one final time. Flag football is not it.